Oh, hell no. Okay, I'm gonna try to do our best to not do as much editing because we gotta catch up. There's just too many chapters. I am over a week behind. It takes an hour. It takes so many hours to film these. Okay, so in order to make the decision easier for this, I'm not cutting any of the audio, any of the flubs. I'm not doing it. I just can't. I don't have the time. And to choose the path, I have with me a D4, the most terrible and painful of the dice. And I'm gonna have that choose my path. Will it be meat or candy? Meat is evens. Odds is candies. You gonna trust me on this? Let's go. You're gonna hear the clatter against my glass desk. Here we go. Even meat, odd candy. Even meat it is. Pretty good, because I wanted to go the meat route anyway. Self-sacrificial. Very important. Let's go. Meat was definitely the right choice, you think, as grease drips down your chin. The meat is cold and undercooked, so you have to grab it with both hands while you rend it apart with your incisors. It bursts in chunks, filling your mouth with blood and your throat with mangled knots of gristle and long strings of muscle fiber. You take big bites, almost too big to swallow, so big that you choke on the meaty mulch and hawk up some of it in your nasty cavity. Oh wait. And hawk some of it up into your nasal cavity. You sneeze out a gooey rope of phlegm and flesh. You stop for a moment and wipe your face, but your chin is still slippery after you wipe the mess away. Slivers of meat catch between your teeth as you masticate with bestial enthusiasm. You use your thumbnail to fish them out. Finish up. Some of the blood has coagulated on the surface of the plate. You grab it from Calliope and lick it clean. She watches you, calm, placid, alien. Roxy has leaned forward to scrutinize your slovenly feasting, her eyes wide and intense. You stare back at them with your hands coated in uncontusionous organic matter and flecks of seared skin. The blood on your hands is so thin that it's like an oily Kool-Aid pooling in your palm. Think suddenly about all the horrible crimes committed by Lord English. Gosh, that guy's the worst. The memory of his stupid face and his terrible art and all the abominable misfortune he has caused across multiple universes and timelines makes your meal start to curdle in your stomach. The meat sits there like a big lardy mass, a black hole bursting the universe apart around it. You feel like rocks are churning in your gut and your mouth begins to water, hot and sour. The flavor of the afternoon air changes around you and it's too hot, almost suffocating. You swallow back a mouthful of pungent bile as your eyes swim and lose focus. You know what you must do. I know what I must do. Of course you know. What kind of guy would you be if you stayed here, when you're the only one in existence capable of completing the grim tasks? A pretty terrible one, who just sneezed up a chunk of raw meat in front of a girl you have a gigantic crush on. I have to go back and kill Lord English. You sure? I think so. It will probably be hard, but I think it's the right thing to do. Everyone is counting on me. Roxy pulls back and takes a deep breath. It's a very thin breath, and her bottom lip quivers a bit when she sucks it in. She looks disappointed, though you could be misreading her as usual. Calliope looks, well, her face is permanently a grinning skull. You'll be pretty danged if you know what's on in her mind either. I understand. No one says anything for some time. A pleasant breeze rolls down from the hills. In the distance, the bell tower chimes twice. You notice that a group of Carapacians have stopped to stare at you with beady-eyed fascination. The front of your shirt is stained with dark, slimy patches from the meat. Jeez, why did you have to eat that meat like such a slob? So, is that it? Should I get going? If this is your decision, then yes, there's no time to lose, if the choice you have made is to matter. Calliope closes up the picnic basket and stands. Roxy follows, taking Calliope's hand in hers again. Man, I suck at making Calliope voice. I can't do a British accent to save my life. Say goodbye? Okay then, thanks for inviting me to this picnic. Guess I'll see you both when I get back? Neither of them reply. You look from one to the other, then back again. A loud belch escapes your mouth, catching you completely off guard. The gastrointestinal ambush releases an invisible cloud of chewed-up protein odor to the public park. The gross ball of muscle roils and snarls in your belly like an unruly groundhog, prodded yet reluctant to come out and see its shadow. Oh, why are you thinking about this? Hug them, dummy. You hesitate, a few awkward moments too long. When you go to hug them, they've already turned away, leaving you standing in the middle of the park alone with your arms half raised, cupping the air. It's so pathetic that the eavesdropping Carpathians finally scurry away, overwhelmed by their second-hand embarrassment. You didn't even know they could get embarrassed. You drop your arms and sigh, time to get on with it. Before you leave, you fly back home and take one last look around Salamander Village. You breathe in crisp, clean air, listen to the pipes chime, soak up the unfiltered sunlight. You then head inside for a wipe down, since it feels like you've been making face-down snow angels in the floor of an ill-kept slaughterhouse. You head to your bathroom, wash all the meat off your face, but somehow you still don't feel that clean. An invisible layer of oil seems to cling to almost every square inch of your body, no matter how hard you scrub. You go to your bedroom desk and dig out some stationery. And write. Dear Roxy, you've never written a note so quickly or with such clarity of heart and mind. When you're done, you write 9 more. Your hands leave grease stains on the paper. You leave 10 envelopes on your bed arranged in a tidy circle with the names of your 10 closest friends written on them. Then, with absolutely no fanfare, you leave all of them and this idyllic world you've created behind and zap yourself back into canon. The pain. Oh, the pain. Oh man, and I also feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but I stopped feeling that like halfway through the meat burping monologue. Anyway, moving on. These chapters are shorter, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, it's Dave! Bro. In the heart of the Troll Kingdom's capital city, Dave and Karkat are sitting on their couch with a foot and a half of space between them. It's typically picturesque day outside, but Karkat, a foot and a half of space between them is just so specific. Okay, sorry. It's a typically picturesque day outside, but Karkat has the curtains drawn shut all the way. This is part of their compromised living situation. Dave puts up with the trollish non-Eleusinian architecture and bizarre social mores, and Karkat has adjusted his diurnal schedule to, in theory, see the sun. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I'm like, trolls are nocturnal, so them, yeah, okay. But yeah, social, okay, so Dave basically is like, okay, we'll do this troll quadrants thing, but I get daytime. And Karkat's like, fine. Bro. You've got to check this out. Karkat's leaning forward, munching on chocolate-coated beetles and totally absorbed in what he's watching. The glow from the television highlights the dark bags under his eyes. Dave reaches out and very gently pokes Karkat in the cheek. Karkat flinches out of his full-body slouch. Now, Dave, Jake's butt is on the TV. No. Not now, Dave. Jake's butt is on the TV again. Stop ogling Jake's butt. This is important. Who the F are you to tell me whose butt I should stop ogling? Look, it's absolutely hypnotic. I mean, not in a sexual way, per se. Of course. Dave casts a weary look towards the TV where Jake English is shamelessly exhibiting what is definitely his best feature in front of a live studio audience. This is a regular highlight of his and Dirk's hit television show Rumble into Pumpkin Patch, a syncophrenic cross-section of rap battle and robot wrestling that Rose once described as an exploitive, almost Dada-esque cluster truck of I don't care. Pretension and sweaty homoerotic astriction. Rose words. Okay. Jake came up with the title for the show, and Dirk absolutely loathed it. However, before Dirk could insist on an alternative, Jake had already posted an online poll putting his idea against whatever Dirk's lame idea is. Needless to say, the second option was much less popular. Karkat gestures at the televised spectacle, a bit helplessly. It's all in the way. It's being programmed by the station.
It took me a while to notice because it's not like I make it a point to staying glued to this phony televised human gladiator garbage. It's soft as hell. They barely even try to make it seem real. Dave, I consider myself a cosmopolitan individual, a man of learning, but as a native Alternian, I'm actually really offended by this insulting display of namby-pamby pageantry. Anyway, the more I watch, I can't help but notice the camera's lecherous fixation on this boy's voluptuous posterior. Can't say I blame them, I guess. At least it shows they know exactly what he's playing. At least it shows they know exactly what's paying the bills, because it sure as hell isn't the quality of the slam poetry.
Okay, who gives a crap about that? Although it pleases me to hear you taking note of the economics of this broadcast, since it is apropos to the topic at hand, but more on that later.
Apropos to what? I don't have time to scope the latest meme, Dave. Are you coming perilously close to cutting into my important leisure time? No, Dave, you are coming perilously close to cutting into my important leisure time as it is.
Leisure time? This is all you ever do, all day. Also, it's not a meme, it's much more important.
Oh, excuse me, hotshot, but what possibility could be more important than the latest meme? That was a joke, FYI. Now leave.
Jane is running for president.
What the hell?
Jane's running for president? Crocker Corp rules the world! I smell a Donald Trump meme incoming. God bless America. Dave scoots a foot? Dave scoots a foot and a half closer so that they can both read the news on his phone. Carcat tips his head to the side to get a better view until it bumps against Dave's shoulder. Wow, Carcat's short even sitting down. Cute. I got the announcement right here.
You mean President of Earth?
Yeah.
Why the hell would she want to do that?
I don't know. Crocker's just an ambitious woman, I guess.
This sounds awful.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Also, don't tell her I said this, but I think she's basically a fascist.
Why would I tell her you said that? When the hell was the last time either of us had anything to do with Jane?
No, I know. Just like a figure of speech, I guess. Also, she's a freaking xenophobe.
Of course she's a xenophobe.
Yeah, this is so Trump. I can't. Carcat, without drastically altering his position on the couch, turns his head so that he can look Dave straight in the sunglasses.
Dave, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of humans are.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Also, what the hell does she even mean she's running? What a complete load of crap. She's a god. Which one of the toting idiots on this planet would dare to run against her? She's gonna win in a landslide, assuming she doesn't just waltz into office uncontested.
Yeah, I don't disagree, which is why we have to stop her.
Huh? Dave, what exactly are you saying? Are you telling me you're going to run against Jane?
Dave, 2020. No, what year is this? It's like they've traveled 5,000 years in the future, so it's like 5007. I don't know. Carcat's laughter is uproarious, incredulous. He reaches for another beetle as his guffaws subside, and he eats it in a manner he hopes will convey his casual contempt for Dave's insinuation.
Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea how rich she is?
Dude, we're all rich. We, invented the economy. Dave knows about economy. He totally swindled some gators.
Well, yeah, but not like Crocker rich.
Anyway, no, I'm not running. You are. Carcat 5007. Carcat stops chewing his beetle and does a literal spit take right into Dave's face.
Me?
Yeah, man, it's perfect. You're the ideal opponent to take her down. And TBA, just what this planet needs.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
We established this how many years ago? I'm not a leader. I was never meant to be one. Jane probably is, although to be fair, I'm agreeing with you. She's a complete jerk. I'm just not the one to run an effective opposition. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Obviously, you wouldn't do it on your own. I would help. I'd be like your campaign manager, or chief strategy guy, or whatever. Also, you're wrong. You're meant to be a leader, and you'd be a good one, just not the kind of leader you always thought you'd be. Not a bellicose, conquering jerk who commands fear and respect. Just a guy who's cool and nice and actually cares about stuff, and people love him for that reason.
People don't love me.
Wrong. You are wrong, sir. You are very, very wrong. Fake news. Get over here, man. If you were real, I would hug you right now. You're breaking... No, let me scoot this up a little further. You're breaking my heart, dude. BRB, I'm gonna hit the toilet for a quick power sob.
Shut the hell up.
It still amazes me how little awareness you generally seem to have, or how insanely popular you are on this planet. It's adorable.
You're wrong. All I see is Jake on TV and Jane in the news stories about her stupid business and whatever Dirk's doing. Stuff he's supposed to do with his celebrity presence. I see your mug a lot too, Mr. Political Puppet Master. You get more votes than me, and you know it. You're probably just a coward.
You only see famous humans on TV because you just avoid all Troll Kingdom channels deliberately. You hate it whenever you see yourself on TV. Don't pretend I don't notice you change the channel as fast as possible whenever you see yourself.
Yeah, well, maybe I...
Karkat hesitates, then slouches back into the couch cushions, restoring the customary 1.5 feet of space he and Dave usually kept between them, except when watching horror movies, eating chips, or talking about the top 600 stupid things Karkat saw earlier that day because he made his intrepid annual decision to go outside.
Maybe I don't actually like being famous, and maybe that's maybe that's a good reason as any not to run for the presidency of Earth. Not to mention the idea of an election is kind of a messed up and weird thing to me culturally anyway, and I'm still kind of getting used to the idea that people can somehow just choose their leaders and not have the same old merciless jerk in power for several billion years.
Well, what better way to acquaint yourself with democracy than to take a crack at a high office yourself? Dude, seriously, you would absolutely kill it with the troll voting block. The entire kingdom would vote for you. They'd go ballistic if they heard a troll actually had the guts to run against Jane, let alone one of their heroes. And frankly, just between you and me, Jane is... How do I put this?
What?
Okay, I'll just be the one to come out and say it. She's gonna be a disaster for the economy. I guess I have to admit, part of this, personally, it's...
What are you saying, Dave?
It's about Obama. There we go. I was wondering ever since the first episode of this with the epilogue and when the, prologue chapters were out, I was like, why is Obama in the characters list? And now I know. I gotta stop laughing. Okay. Very slowly, Karkat raises his right palm and forcefully unites it with his own face. He barely even got the chance to prove himself. He was sworn into office, and it was cool, and everything was going to be great. But then everyone died a few months later because of the meteors. Dude was just getting warmed up. So sad. I wonder if he would have fixed the economy. I bet he would have fixed the economy. Looking at California's economy right now, I'm going to say no. Anyway,
Dave, as much as I enjoyed listening to you ramble through yet another chapter of your freestyle Obama fan fiction, don't you already have a basis for knowing how his presidency would have gone? I mean, wasn't the president in the time Jane grew up in too?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, I know that. I just don't like to think much about that timeline. It doesn't really feel like it's canon.
Didn't some clowns take over the world or something? I don't want to talk about it.
The point is, in the world that mattered more, I mean, like, the one I belonged to that I used to imagine had a real future, that didn't involve meteors or a fish dictator or the American political landscape turning into a nightmarish daily joke. I still wonder what could have been. If the old man could have saved us all, but instead he died, probably, or maybe not, because there was like an escape hatch in the White House that led to his own secret presidential session of Spurb. What if he's just chilling there now? What? They had presidential... Oh, they were like, we gotta make sure the president is safe. Let's keep let's keep a copy of Spurb so Obama can run around and become God tier. What would he be? What would Obama be? I think he'd be Prince of Hope. No, wait, that means he destroyed it. Dang. Moving on.
Dave, I think we've covered your Obama's secret session of Spurb theory well enough already.
I know, I'm just saying is all.
It's a beautiful dream, I get it.
But yeah, it's more likely he just died, but maybe it doesn't have to be in vain. What if he died for our sins or something?
That sounds meaningless.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he could be reborn.
Yes, we've been over your Obama God tier headcanons too.
Not, like, reborn as you... Metaphorically, you could be the great president he never got the chance to be. You could give the people hope and stuff. You could inspire trolls everywhere, or rally all non-human kingdoms. Show them anybody could be president, not just an endless parade of rich humans who think they all know what's best for everyone.
Dave, I'm pretty sure anyone could be president. It's always seemed to me that humans just seem to be more naturally ambitious, and if that's why the power structures took the shape they did the last few millennia. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on xenopsychology, but for some reason I struggle to imagine that a salamander getting the gumption to throw his crumpled hat into the ring for the presidency of Earth. Or the Carpathians, for that matter. These are not ambitious creatures we're talking about here, Dave. They're a huge flock of wool beasts, Dave.
Karkat, don't stereotype. Remember the mayor. Always remember, never forget. Remember how, at one point a long time ago, he raised an army and rebelled against an evil king?
Oh yeah. Somehow I always forget he did that. Kind of mind-boggling, really. Holy crap, I missed the mayor.
Me too. I can't. The timing is too perfect. Oh, you'll never know. Okay. Dave and Karkat both observe a moment of silence, a delicate and trembling pause of utmost respect to perhaps the greatest and purest being who had ever come forth from paradox space. Dave pats Karkat's knees comfortingly. Karkat lets out a quivering breath of sorrow, of remembrance. Yeah, Carpathians only live a couple hundred years. So PM and, like, the mayor, they're gone. But for some reason, Ms. Paint and Jack Noir are still running around, at least according to Snapchat. Anyway, I think he would be totally in favor of my idea, by the way. He loved democracy.
No, duh, he was a mayor.
I mean, forget all the lizards and chess guys for a second. Just imagine the good you could do for the troll kingdom. You would do as much better job of speaking for the injustices trolls face than Jane would.
What injustices?
Dude, please, where to begin? I know Earthsea has generally been pretty chill to live, but there's been some terrible stuff going on that's legit creepy. All this population regulation bull that's been going on since we basically set up civilization and pieced out to the future. When you think about it, its long-term consequences have been weird, like the government being responsible for troll reproduction through cloning. Yeah, but didn't you do that too? You cloned humans and then just left them with the Carpathians and then pieced back in 5,000 years later. Okay. A government that just happens to be predominantly human most of the time. Like, it makes sense on paper at first. No mother grub, gotta keep the race going and expand the population for a good while and get the numbers up. Wait, they don't have a mother grub? But I thought they did. What was the egg thing? They made the egg thing, and the hatched into them. Oh wait, I need to read more. Until Kanaya gets here and hatches the grub, and then I guess a system of natural reproduction can take over in theory. Wait. Why didn't they just leave the egg there? Hello? You could have gotten a Carpathian to take care of the mother grub. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was a thing. But okay, whatever, I don't care anymore. Okay. After so many centuries of that, doesn't that weird political imbalance, get entrenched? There's a measure of real concern and passion working its way through Dave's voice. Karkat, despite his typical front of loud indignation, hangs on every word. Keeping an eye on the clock. Sorry. Just as I was saying that all the chapters were really short, they start getting long again. Anyway. And Rose and Kanaya crank out a few more broods in the caverns, and I guess we're supposed to think it's all fixed, right? Back to trolls as usual or something. That you really think the human kingdom is just gonna sit back and let the troll race proliferate wildly all over the earth, turn it into another Alternian empire? Folks know the history. They know about the Condis and all the violence and the Hemospectrum and stuff. They're scared to death of the possibility that trolls could run wild all over the planet. Dave, I know all this. In fact, you know all this because you heard me say it to Kanaya 1,000 times. Actually, in an effort not to go insane, I try not to think about it anymore. They're saying it for the audience, okay? Well, maybe it's time to start thinking about it again. Bro, did you know sitting on the sidelines in the face of oppression is tantamount to siding with the oppressors? You think a Crocker administration is really going to go through with plans to deregulate troll breeding? She knows exactly what her base wants. I can already see the dog whistles in the press release. She isn't going to do crap. And I'm really, man, if nothing else, and I mean truly nothing, please, for the love of Christ, think of the economy. Ah! The outburst is all Karkat can do to release whatever tension Dave's impassioned appeal was causing to brew inside him. Really, dude just really told him to think of the economy. Jane has this reputation for being awesome at business, but in my honest opinion, she actually just sucks. She doesn't seem to even be remotely aware how much she's leveraged her status as a god to become a big shot trillionaire. I think she really thinks it's all pure business acumen, but I think she doesn't really know what she's doing. People just left and right just be tripping all over day long to give her money hand over fist. Of course she's gonna milk her biz cred for all it's worth in this election. She's probably a much better politician than a businesswoman. Actually, she's sinister as heck. I mean, she hides it well. Don't get me wrong. She isn't too hard on the eyes, which won't hurt her chances one bit, but she's gonna be brutal on the pocketbooks. Just you wait. I don't believe this. You don't know the nuances of sound, comprehensive fiscal policy like I do. My skills are legendary. I manipulated the stock market to assume control of the literal majority of all currency on the planet once. Granted, the economy was run by lobotomized reptiles, but still, wait, this is speciest. I'm sorry. The point aside, though, I know what I'm doing. What do you think is going to happen when Jane takes over and the economy crashes? I don't know. It's gonna be pandemonium. Will it actually be, though? Well, I don't know. Okay, if stuff goes sideways, I guess we aren't gonna see, raggedy turtles and pauper chessmen standing in bread lines or anything. That's just the nature of alchemy-based post-scarcity economics. The depressions tend to be pretty mild, but it will still be bad. A healthy economy is important, if no other reason than it protects the societal context for what it means to be rich, like us. I'm keeping political comments to myself because I live in the Bay Area, and it's been proven that we are the worst when it comes to listening to the opposite side. Anyway, Dave wipes an invisible tear from Oh wait, sorry, I'm skipping things. Just a thought. Let's come up with a different campaign slogan than that, okay? Yeah, but the point is, I guess, she sucks and shouldn't be president in the end. You don't even have to think about economic stuff. I can do that for you. I'll be like the Treasury Secretary or something. Just please tell me you'll do this. Do it for the trolls, for the economy. Do it for the mayor, most of all. Dave wipes an invisible tear from beneath the rim of his sunglasses.
Do it for Obama. Dang it, Dave. I don't really give a crap about politics or being a leader anymore. And I think you know that. I don't care about the economy, and while I'm sure this Obama fellow was a hell of a guy, I couldn't give less of a crap about him either. But I do care about you.
Dave smiles. Oh, the Dave Cat fangirls. I can hear them now.
So, I'll do it. Why not?
Nice. Yeah. You won't regret it. This is gonna be dope. I think we have a great shot too, with my political savvy and economic genius and outrageous flair for subversive anti-establishment messaging and propaganda, and your big loud mouth. What the heck? I'm also your charisma and likability and stuff.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm pretty sure I can fake those things well enough.
Oh, also, your weirdly sincere humility.
I prefer the term self-loathing, actually.
Okay, let's try to avoid that phrase in this campaign trail, too.
This already sounds like a pain in the butt.
There's a gap of silence in the conversation, long enough for the audio from the television to become noticeable. Jake's rambling about a truly dire piece of slam poetry that involves, with zero hint of irony, the terms Batty Fang and mad as hops. The neon light blaring out from the screen casts long waves of color along the black walls of the hive and bounces off the glass of the framed print of Dave's least psychologically revealing Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff strip. Karkat sighs and rubs the space between his horns.
Can't I just read a bunch of bull you write for me off a teleprompter?
Yeah, there'll definitely be plenty of that. Dave grabs his tablet off the shelf. He pivots back around and points the pen straight at Karkat. The arc of his arm's motion is polished and decisive, even though it's been a long time since he properly used a sword. Though the pen is mightier. Anyway, but you also need to be natural and speak from the heart and stuff. Just like, talk to your people about stuff they care about.
My people? You mean trolls?
Oh yeah, I guess that sounded bad, sorry. But yeah, exactly, trolls. That's gonna hurt, that's gonna be your base, so you gotta rile them up. Inspire them. I don't think they need any fancy speeches. To do that, you'll be a natural.
If you say so. So what do we exactly do? I mean, next?
Dave plops down on the floor and gestures for Karkat to join him on the cold stone. He wipes the table off and... Sorry, I heard cold stone. All I could think of was ice cream. I am sorry. My brain just tangented. He swipes the tablet on and taps the screen with a pen. Karkat lies down on the stomach, plops his chin on his palm so that he can watch Dave scribble political ambitions directly to the most terrible paint program on his OS. Time to think of some strategy. We need to rally as much high-profile support to our cause as we can, but there are some, lines of loyalty to figure out.
What?
I mean, which one of our friends are gonna side with us and which ones will side with Jane? Pretty much all of us are famous and popular all over Earth to some degree, but some of us are more so with certain kingdoms than others. So some key endorsements going either way could swing the whole election.
Oh, great. So it all comes down to how many famous humans like me better than Jane? We're screwed.
Well, no, not so fast. Let's think it through. You'll have an overwhelming support in the Troll Kingdom, and so does Kanaya. She seems pretty much on lock to be on your side. Dirk, unfortunately, is just as much on lock for Jane, I'm gonna guess. But after all, it's kind of a free-for-all. Roxy and Calliope will probably be neutral. They have a lot of pull with the Carpathians, though, so that would be a nice score to sway them. Rose would probably claim neutrality at first, but I'm betting she can be cajoled by her wife to our side. And once we get Rose converting, Roxy probably won't be too hard. As for Jade... Here we go. They stare at each other. Karkat sighs. Dave raps his pen against the tablet screen in a slow, uneven staccato. I think it's fair to say she's gonna be on our side.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too much so.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Of course we want her help, and her endorsement will go a long way. But I think we gotta sort out, like, a hierarchical... Man, that's a hard word. That works so much better in print than it does speaking. To campaign strategy. Keep it organized and disciplined with roles well defined, not let things get too murky with personal stuff.
I think we're on the same page here, Dave.
Oh, cool. Anyway, let's come back to the Jade issue later. Let's see, who else? Egbert? Right. John should be easy to convince, but I'm not sure how much a factor he'll be in this campaign. I have no idea how long he'll be away on his mission Rose mentioned.
What? What mission?
Don't know, she's been hella cagey about it. Swore to me secrecy until the right time, whenever that is. Anyway, his endorsement would go a long way in swinging the consort kingdom.
That would be huge. Aren't there like 1 billion of those guys? Securing what voting blocks should be able to win the whole thing for us?
Well, no, the population isn't that big, but yes, it's far the most populous kingdom. Swaying them to our side would help a lot, but it won't be enough to decide the whole thing. Consorts overwhelm the other kingdoms in sheer numbers, but due to unscrupulous gerrymandering, all kinds of messed up voter suppression policies, and some electoral counterbalancing measures to account for their ridiculous population growth rate, their voting per power per capita is kind of pathetic. Kind of a hard drive turnout. This may come as a shock, but legions of easily distracted, low-information amphibians, primarily concerned with eating bugs and farming gosh darn mushrooms, aren't the most politically motivated demographic. So to get them out to the polls as well, we need to get them really excited.
Okay, I guess I'll have to trust your expertise on that, since I don't know the first thing about how to inspire an unintelligent lizard.
Yeah, well, I don't either. But that brings us to Jake. Jake's butt flexes on the television as if in response. Karkit cannot avoid watching it out of the corner of his eye.
Ah, crap.
No, this is important. Jake is a huge wild card here. I'm sure his endorsement would be completely up for grabs, but he could go anyway, including just getting turned off by the whole thing and staying apolitical. So we have to be careful about how we approach him. Jake is the only one who's wildly popular in all 4 kingdoms.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, so an endorsement from him would be huge. Seriously, just running one ad of him doing his double pistol winking bull with a thing under it saying vote for Karkat might be enough to win the whole election. I just have to get that fickle jerk to agree to that, which could be tricky. Honestly, I'd be shocked if Jane hasn't already started courting his vote. There's no way she doesn't understand the political stakes.
So it all comes down to the Jake stakes then.
Pretty much. Jake Stakes 2.0.
What? There was a 1.0? When did that happen?
Oh, that's like a whole story.
Is this going to be another anecdote about Jake's squad that I don't care about and don't want to hear?
It sounds like the exact kind of opinion you'd have about it, so yeah.
Then I don't want to hear about it.
Okay. Hold up. What?
No, what?
Dave fishes his phone from his lap. Dirk's calling me.
What the heck does he want?
I don't know. He just calls me out of the blue from time to time to talk about stuff. Usually about nothing whatsoever. He'll probably joke about how he needs me to cut off his head. Oh yes, Dirk capitation. Love. Anyway. My favorite Strybro, getting his head cut off is the best thing.
Huh?
It's a running gag. He's been running into the ground for years. Dude is dedicated to his memes. I'll give him that.
You said he's going to be a Crocker loyalist, right?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
You don't think he's going to you don't think he's trying to do some reconnaissance work here? Like intel gathering?
He doesn't even know you've entered the race yet. No one does.
Okay, good. I guess we're better. Be better answer then.
Okay. Well, I missed the call while we were bowling when we were joking about it, but yeah, I'll call him right back now. Dave hits the callback button. On television, Dirk's phone begins ringing. What? Called him on live television. Classy Dirk. Sup? Hey, dude. Dave hears the reply through his phone, then a moment later through the TV due to the broadcasting delay. Whole show is stopped so that Dirk can take his call. The camera zooms in on what he's casually lying on a mat, bruised, a little bloody. In the background, Jake strikes an effective, cock-tipped pose. He's spinning a revolver around on one finger, affecting the aura of the attractive indifference. But he looks like he's shooting his sparring partner is halfway... Wait. And the look he's shooting his sparring partner is caught halfway between confused and exasperated. Karkat looks from Dave to the TV and back again. You got your sword handy? Always. Good. See, I'm in sort of a bind here, and I'm afraid there's only one way out.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay, I gotta stop this recording right now because it's starting to get a little late. But yeah, looking forward to this. I will be covering the candy line as soon as I catch up. Please don't update every week, Hussy. I don't think I can take it. Okay, see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Gerald Thomas and Bleed Red.